Hey, welcome back to the main event, Independence Day weekend. I hope everybody had an awesome 4th of July. Listen, welcome to the live show. Checking in tonight, we are excited to have Matty Ho back from a sick day, which we've got to clarify. We got to clarify how many of those we actually get.
Did you pass quarantine status? Did you get your COVID test and make sure you're cleared to come back, return to work?
I am good to be here. Nobody's going to get COVID through my microphone. We're in good shape.
We're good to go.
I'll tell you all about it later.
Always Pooh Bear, the Chief, and I am B Love.
Woo-hoo.
So what is on tap this evening? So did you hear Kanye West is going to make a run for president? Major League Baseball off to a bit of a rough start. More jokes, 4th of July style, and most importantly, our most recent short, Steak Day. We have a special guest with us tonight, the one and the only judge of Steak Day, Javier Vasquez. But before we get into that, Pooh Bear, let's kick it off.
Wow, that was really good. Who mentioned Steak Day? Below mentioned Steak Day, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, I think I'm still a little full from Steak Day.
I'm way past that.
I got hungry. I get hungry every time I rewatch it.
Oh my gosh!
Let's see. We're all sitting there eating all the different steaks, trying them all out. That was just classic. That was my happy place. You know, that was so awesome. I'm a steak fan. I enjoyed making Steak Day. I do have a few questions for Javi, I think, when we get him in here.
He's backstage. Let's bring Javi in now and let's just get this going.
Oh boy.
Let's do it
Straight
then.
from the Independence Day video, executive chef and owner of Holler at Your Boys Barbecue, Chef Javi. Hey man.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to the show, Javi.
Thank you.
Javi,
Thank you very much.
How many years have you been cooking professional barbecue?
Started probably in 2010 when I started to kick things off with Holla at Your Boys.
Okay,
so going on 10 years now.
Solid 10 years. And what would you say is like your specialty? If we were to you had to cook one thing, what would that be?
Definitely spare ribs, St. Louis style.
Okay.
Some of my faves.
I do have a question for you though.
Because
let's face it, man, you grilled me pretty hard about my steak. Didn't want to touch it and all this kind of stuff. But I get it, man. Okay.
Wait, really quick before you go on. If anybody's watching and they did not watch the steak episode, tune out now because spoiler alert, right? We don't want to ruin it for you.
I don't want to give it up.
Tune out now.
Hey, Cliff. Okay. Hit me with your question first because I gotta talk about something. Go ahead.
So I know there's a professional standard out there for steaks and blah 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 blah. Okay, I know how you like your steak. We found that out. Okay, but what if a customer came to you and said, "This is how I want my steak. I want it heavy Cajun char grill crust on my steak." Would you do it?
Well, you're a professional, right? You do your job.
Would you? Yeah. Well, you got to give the customer what they want, you know.
Is that even a thing? Is that really a thing, or did you make that up after you dropped the steak in a fire?
It was a campfire is what it was. We were about to sing Kumbaya out there.
Yes, we were. Yes,
right? Where were the marshmallows?
That certainly was a 3-alarm fire. Let me tell
you. But I do have to confess on something because as I was thinking back on this, and I want to change Matt's score from a 3 on appearance
to a 2. Really? That's mean, man. There's no reason to come on national.
The reason why I should have made the change on that, thinking about it, was too late. Because he was the only one that had perfectly grilled sear marks, and he should have got at least a 4 for that. And I dropped the ball on that one.
Would that have changed the standings any?
Yes, that puts me in first place.
He would have been in third with the total score of 10.
Okay. So there's still
still a solid third place finish, Matt.
No, the fact is there's a lot of things wrong with this steak day result that we've really got to dive into.
You're right, because we were supposed to be using grills we're not used to.
Hey, Pooh Bear, can we just go ahead and mute Matt's line?
Okay, and that's true. Between the three of you, he had home field. He had home court.
Yes, you did. Home field advantage.
Home field advantage, and still pulled off a solid third.
I promise you right now, if I go downstairs to my magic meat machine on the patio and cook up a steak for any one of you or anybody, that you will never eat a steak anywhere else that was that good.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'm a steak snob now. If I go to a fancy restaurant, a Charlie's or I haven't been to someplace that fancy.
Hey, by the way, I did make a steak that was Charlie's-esque.
You just put a little bit of vegetables on it and said, "Hey, look, it looks just like a restaurant one."
I gave the judge what he asked for. I gave him that was a beautiful steak, is what I cooked, is what we had there. I think most of it was medium rare. If you go to the center, the way you really want a steak, I think I gave the judge everything he asked for. And, steak is just great the way it is. Steak is great as steak. You don't need to doctor it up with, what was your pink Himalayan pansy sauce or whatever that was?
Hey, Matt, spoiler alert. We've heard all this before. It's on the video.
Yeah.
So,
hold on. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Read those. These are some of the reactions I got to the video. Right?
Tell me.
And wait. I want to read this.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I'm going to read this first. It says, "You were robbed, Matt." He said, "They said, was your steak even warm by the time he got to yours, being in fourth place?" So, you know what? Very good question.
Okay, yep. Hobby. Here's what I want to know, because you got a chance to tell us about how we cooked. I want to know how you would have cooked that steak. How would you? What would you have used for your? For the heat? What type of grill would you have used? What was the butter, whatever that stuff is that they put on the top? What would you have done, buddy?
Cheat sauce.
Well, I don't want to go too in depth with this because I got some secrets, but I do. I don't want to share it all, but I do. Basically, you guys did everything I kind of do a little bit, except I use a coffee rub, and I do marinate it at least a day to at least give it an hour, but I like to go overnight. So poke holes in it, a little bit of olive oil, Worcestershire sauce, a coffee rub that I like to use, let it sit. Then I just use a propane grill because right now it's quick and easy. It's for me. But
okay.
I got a pellet grill now. I got a pellet grill. Hold on, I got a pellet grill now that I haven't tried to cook a steak on yet. So that's going to be a different type of cooking stuff.
Let me ask a question though. If you're going to, I mean, how much would you say? You don't have to give me, like, on average, would you say you guys spent on the steaks that you prepared for a steak day? Like, what was the cost of the steak from the grocery store, wherever you bought it from?
It was more than my grill.
Mine was more than my grill too. My grill was $12.99.
Yeah.
By the way, I mowed over parts of your grill the next day.
I think mine was 20, about the same, $24 or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you guys.
You thought we struggled.
So the reason I asked that is, if you're going to spend $25 on a piece of meat, could you show it a little bit more respect than a propane grill?
You're calling out the judge right now. He just said he does that, and he said he used Worcestershire sauce. So again, and he wanted grill marks. Everything he just said now is what I gave him, and I'm still there's a conspiracy here, man.
Hey, Javi, what is your favorite cut?
You had to throw more rub on there. You had to throw more rub, and you had to get it on the second rack. You get the sear on both sides, throw it on the second rack. You left it on the bottom.
Yeah, you guys did delay me a little bit, and that kind of kicked it up a snot.
There's a whole another nuance to this entire process was the fact that we were doing this for entertainment purposes. We were recording this for a video. If this was me cooking meat in your front yard, I would have done it completely different. Well, not completely different, a whole lot different than I did. My fire would have been hotter. I would have had it on there for less time.
Well,
I wouldn't have had it so low to the fire. But
that was the other thing, Pooh Bear. You guys with those little grills, except for Matt because he had home field advantage, you guys were cooking right on top of coals that was like an inch away from your meat.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no, and there was this part where Brian goes, Lovell says, B-Love says, I got no place to put it. What he should have done is when he put the coals in, when you guys did that scene where you put the coals in, is took a fork or spatula and pushed your coals to one side. Because you had enough room, and then did your sear and then moved it on indirect heat.
Good call.
You had enough room, but you just didn't do it.
Hey, that's why you're the judge. But either way, I did win the steak day challenge. So I mean, I'll take your advice I'll take that under advisement. I will tell you, one of the challenges I had out there was that storm moved in.
Oh.
And that caused my coals to flame back up, right? Because obviously you want to cook on just hot coals.
Yeah, because
that caused my coals to flame back up with the added oxygen, and that presented the challenge that you were just referring to. But I got to tell you, how funny was it when that canopy blew over?
Oh my gosh!
It was funny.
The only one that wasn't laughing was Pooh Bear.
Right.
It was his tent.
I was already unhappy with the way things were going, and then that happened, and it was like, this. I'm done.
I got a comment that was someone's favorite part of the whole video was watching the bloopers and then watching the tent fly away. It was just
Did you notice that? I didn't notice when it happened, but did you see the chair caught up the leg and flew with it?
Yeah. And by the way, that was my chair and my Yeti. So I mean, it was like a triple trifecta for me.
Don't worry, I took your tent to the dump.
Hey, was it tied to the tent, or did it just catch it?
It just happened to be sitting there. The leg of you can see it on video. The leg of the tent catches the chair. Just
unreal.
With it.
You guys know that is
my Yeti.
You guys know that is the second tent that we have lost like that.
Yes.
You think we would have learned after opening day at the Trop, where we broke the guy's Escalade.
And that's why I said that was only funny because no one got hit in the head. And no one had their windshield.
Oh, that's
shattered.
right. Somebody did get hurt that day, and
that lady tried to get us arrested, man.
Yeah, she called the cops on us.
She went and got the cop. She got a traffic cop and said, "Go arrest them because they hurt us." We're like,
no, because I wouldn't give her my insurance information. I kept saying, "Well, what insurance do you want?" I mean, you want a car insurance? It's not involving the car. That has anything to do with it. We're sitting here I don't have insurance for sitting in a parking lot, with a tent. So we're gonna start tying these things down. Or buying some cinder blocks. You got to do something.
Yeah, but that was none of the good news is if it had blown the other way, it had hit all the vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, it got a lot worse too.
Especially, that would have been a quadruple because it would have been a Pooh's Yeti, Pooh's chair, Pooh's tent, Pooh's truck.
That would have been my luck.
He just put it all for him. He went in a superfecta.
Yeah. So listen, Javi, first I got to say, I got a couple of questions for you too, but we should have acknowledged this at the beginning, but one of the longtime fans of the Man Event, by the way, been here since the very beginning, 2-time guest on the Man Event. So thanks for hanging out with us. And we've known this guy for, I'm going to go with the better part of 20 years, most of us.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Javi was in my wedding 20 years ago.
The only thing that I'm going to say that calls into question his credentials as a judge is that Javi doesn't like cheese.
Nope.
Doesn't eat cheese. And I don't know, man, I'm not going to knock you too much because I am the steak day champion. And thank you for my trophy and my crown. But the fact that you don't eat cheese, I don't, and so no mac and cheese.
So it's problematic.
No. So this is what we got to do. If you guys ask me to be a judge again, don't ask me to be a judge on a cheeseburger. Don't ask me to be a judge on a Philly cheesesteak. If it has cheese in it, mayonnaise or mustard,
pizza,
you got to count me out. I can do a pizza.
Don't you dare put chili or cheese on his chili.
Don't you dare put cheese on his chili.
No, he'll send that back. He'll send that back. He will.
That is a lot of good eating you're missing out on, man.
So, Javi, here's one of my questions for you is, so before we even got out to Matt's place where we did the filming and started setting up and all that, When we originally came to you and said, hey, would you judge this for us and be a part of this? Who did you have as your favorite to win it?
Matt, you can say it. Go ahead.
He's shaking his head no.
I got two. It was Clifford and Pooh.
Wow. I was nowhere even in the running.
You weren't in it. And let me tell you why. I've had Cliff stuff.
By stuff, he means steak.
I didn't have your steak, but I had a couple of things that Cliff done, like pulled pork, baked beans, and different things I've had that he's cooked. And I've had stuff that Pooh cooked. The ribs he had cooked. One of the Buccaneer games that we did were superb. So, Lovell, I haven't had anything you've ever cooked before. Well, and the only thing I've had in your house that I remember that I liked, because it wasn't Publix, the one thing I didn't have that I liked and you didn't make it, Ginger did, and that was the ooey gooey cake that she made.
Ooey gooey butter cake.
Yeah.
Butter cake. Okay.
Butter cake.
Lovell,
when you came in there, I was you weren't even in the middle. You were in the mix. And I know Matt, but I didn't know him that well, so I didn't know how well he does things. So,
all right. So my follow-up question. Go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say my relationship with Javi isn't as long as you guys, but I did coach his son like 15 years ago in baseball.
Yeah, he did.
I remember
so
that.
My follow-up question is, you come to the event, we're all getting set up. You see what our strategy is, before we had put anything on the grill. After seeing that, who did you have as your favorite?
Matt, you can say it. Go
ahead. Matt had the advantage.
Well,
Clifford grill
with Clifford. I saw that little box cut from Amazon. I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Just watching him hold pork above the flames. That was just hilarious.
That was great.
And then with you and Pooh, Pooh's grill was about to break. I mean, he had to tighten up some screws or something on that thing. They had a rusted bottom and everything. I'm like, what is he gonna do?
We can call it vintage if you choose. It's definitely been around. It's been in my garage for quite some time, sitting in a like a cubby up top. And I distinctively remember the day to pick it up. We were cooking sausage for an opening day, and
in fact, I'm thinking it was the day that the tent blew over.
Yes, I was just thinking that. I think it is the same day.
I think that was the same day.
It might be, but I think we did public subs that day for some reason.
No,
we definitely cooked.
Yeah. We were cooking.
Yep,
I do remember that. We just did hot dogs because we were like, this.
And one thing I remember about Pooh that day is the next day I didn't go. I think I backed out or something. You guys know me.
Sounds about right.
Not within Clifford. I think Pooh says, "Why didn't you come that day?" Because we could have split the cost to pay this Everybody had to put out like $100 or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember how much it was, but I think it was more than that.
Was it?
I remember how much it was. Oh no, it was $1,600. Yeah, it was $1,600. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do remember. I had to write the
check. Wow.
So Lovell, I got to ask you because my steak was like 1.4 pounds, right? Your steak was really thick. That was to your advantage for sure.
It definitely was his advantage.
So where did you get your steak? How did you end up with one so thick and all that?
Yeah, so I bought mine at Publix, which I believe the three of you also got yours at Publix.
We all did.
But I bought mine from the butcher case, and yours, it looked like you guys all bought yours pre-wrapped. Like it was already, So I went to the case and picked out, which one.
My man. I need
nice
you over
job.
here.
Yep.
Nice job.
Yeah, I think that definitely was the difference between the rest of our steak, well, at least my steak and Lovell's.
Yep. I will 100% agree that the cut of meat. I mean, we all did ribeyes, but before we put it on the grill, mine just looked better.
Yeah.
The other thing I liked that you guys did that I didn't think any of you were gonna do was you got all chose with the bone in. All of y'all.
Well, that was the rule. You had to get a bone in.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
And they're just better. I like, bone in is always better. Same with pork chop.
I guess that meat bone.
Some of that meat bone.
And I will say this, Cliff, I'm not gonna say anything else about Steak Day and the rivalry me losing, because I'm realizing I'm sounding an awful lot like Lovell after Cake Day, and I don't want to go there.
You don't want that.
I'm just saying, man, vindicated.
So, Chef Hobby, what is your favorite cut of steak? What is your preferred cut?
Ribeyes.
Yeah,
really,
over a strip or a fillet. Okay,
T-bone.
Yep. Over the
Delmonico's are good. I like
Delmonico's are good. Personally, I think at least the one I cook the most, I like the most, is probably a strip, New York strip.
Yeah, they're good.
That's what we do.
I buy them on sale, the ribeyes. I don't, there's a lot of people that like to go buy fillets at restaurants. In some restaurants, I can't tell the difference between a fillet and a sirloin, really.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes. So be careful with that.
Well, you're probably eating those in the wrong places then.
Yeah.
I won't
if you're going to Charlie's or Ruth Chris or Burns and you ask for a fillet, you're going to get it. I'm talking about the lower chains, because sometimes it's vacuum packed, like you bought it from a guy that's on a truck driving around trying to sell meat.
So now, if you guys go to like a one of those other lower class restaurants, you were saying, not Outback, but
Golden Corral. That's what I was thinking.
Ponderosa.
Golden Corral is a good one there.
No, what, like a TGI Fridays or something like that, right?
Oh, gosh,
they sell. You guys ever get a steak at any of those places?
No.
Yeah, I won't do it. I won't do it. Nope. I'll get a burger, but I
I'll
won't waste my money on a steak.
Obviously, I'll get one at Outback if we go to Outback.
Outback, I will.
I do not like Outback steaks.
What?
So I'll tell you, I have not had a
filet, or is that Flo, or is that Texas?
No, that's Longhorns.
If you compare Outback to, like you said, like Ruth Chris, or if you go to like Shula's.
Yeah.
Shula's.
By the way, go to Shula's on your birthday, you get a free steak.
Really?
Yep. That is free steak on your birthday at Shula's. Yep. Pooh Bear, about Outback, I've had some bad experiences there. To the point where I've quit going. Like, it hasn't been great. I went recently. I met a client there, and I had one, and it was. They actually. I was like, okay, you caught me by surprise. Like Javi would say, don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Which, I mean, I think in terms of Cliff, then
he judged the book by its cover.
Dude, that was a solid plan you had, Chief. That was a solid plan. It was just poorly executed. Had the grill held together for just a bit longer, you probably walk away as Steak Day champion.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how we didn't get pine flavoring and paint inside his meat. I don't know.
Javi was saying earlier about, your meat was too close to the coals. Cliff's meat was inside the coals. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
there was grass on his, and we had to brush some grass off.
My initial plan was to start it out close to the coals, and obviously the grill didn't have the ability to go up or down. But I was shooting for Pittsburgh style, and that's what you got.
Wow.
Here's the thing about Cliff, though, too. You can't say don't judge a book by its cover, because with Cliff, we saw like the writing of it, the book, the rough drafts of the book. We saw the binding of the book being put together. We saw the whole thing. When you saw the end result, it wasn't just the cover. You saw the whole shebang, man.
It was
The thing with Cliff's steak is he had it just right for anybody who wanted one well done. You cut off this piece. You wanted one you cut off this piece. If you wanted one medium, you cut off this piece. He had them all covered.
There you go.
Hey,
he's a crowd pleaser.
For that alone, I feel like he deserved a little bit more recognition than he got.
Kind of like the Swiss Army steak. All right.
Who wants a well done piece? Just cut a little well done.
Who wants a well done piece? This is yours.
He's like the guy at the carving station. When you go up there, you want to pick which one you want. What do you want? Cut it right there.
I have some good pictures. I have some good pictures of that going on. Cliff's, grill burning to the ground. I'll post them on our Instagram page and our Facebook page as well for everybody to catch those. But that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and I will tell you, the Man Event Show, right? It's
the Man Event, the Man Event Show on Instagram.
That's our Instagram.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, Pooh
you
Bear
can put it there in the scrolling thing at the bottom, Pooh Bear.
Okay.
do that.
Oh yeah.
Pooh Bear does our editing for these shorts, and so I want to tell you the siren in the background.
Oh, that was good.
That was really good. And I will tell you, when I went over there, I wasn't kidding. When I mowed my lawn afterwards, there was a bit of charcoal and stuff. It was like a big black cloud blew out from under the mower, and so I'm gonna have a scar there for probably the whole summer.
So my youngest daughter, watches, the short, and she goes, "Daddy, I thought he was supposed to put out fires."
That's great. And my son heard it as I was editing. He heard the sirens, and he said, "Did the fire department really show up?" I said, "No, son, I added that." So
Javi, what did you have for 4th of July? What did you cook as being a chef yourself?
Yeah, you sent us a little video of the smoker going, but we never saw the results.
Yeah, I slacked off on some pictures, so I should have took more. But my cooking started at 10:30 Friday.
Oh my!
So I put in Friday night. So I put in, because I knew with much space of cooking space I had to kind of do it in stages. So I had a 12 pound, about 12.5 pound pork butt, Boston butt. Put that in at 10:30 in my pellet grill. And my pellet grill has a Wi-Fi connection to it. So I have an app for it.
So we're talking about this pre-show.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
We were talking about this kind of stuff pre-show.
Yeah, so I had the app with my probe. So my temperature probe. So 10:30 at night, I put it in, put my probe in my in the pork butt, let it go, had it set at 225. So in my mind, I'm thinking 10:30, I'll wake about 2:30 and see where it's at. So go to sleep, check my app, alarm wakes me up, check my app. Temperature still holding in the smoker. My pork butt was like at 130. I said, okay, I got 45 more minutes. Put it up again, go to sleep again, wake up, look again, it's 150, because I take my pork butt off at 160.
Mm-hmm.
So about 4:15, it was at 160, grabbed it, put it in the pan, wrapped it up, did some other stuff, popped it back in till about 6. Then I cooked on a wood smoker, vertical smoker, my backwoods. I cooked 6 slabs of baby backs.
Oh, wow.
Then when I pulled the pork butt off on the pellet grill, I put about 10 pounds of pork belly. I make these pork belly burn ends. They're like cubed up. Awesome game. I'm telling you guys. Pork belly burn ends are just absolutely awesome.
You have me.
Put them in on. Those took about 4, baby backs. Took about 4 hours to cook those. So that's what we had. And I grilled some chicken, threw some chicken in the smoker.
So you took your pork off at 160 and you wrapped it in aluminum foil, I'm assuming?
Yeah, at 160, and then when I pull it off, I just add like some brown sugar, some honey, a little bit of apple juice. Actually, I used apple cider.
I might drunk while you're eating
switch over to that. Non-alcoholic. And then I wrap it because I wanted to steam up. You start off with it so it just has that bark.
Yep.
Beginning, and I don't want it to keep cooking the outside, so then you wrap it so it kind of just steams in there, and that's where you get your moisture. So.
Good deal.
Nice. You got any left over?
Huh?
You got any left over?
Yeah. I tell you, man, I do have some left over. Switching from a more conventional style smoker with charcoal and wood chunks to a pellet grill, it's like night and day. Night and day. One, as far as how it cooks, it's almost like an oven, almost. But you have the little pellets, the little wood pellets, and they have different flavors of pellets. Yep. And then easier to maintain, man. I'm telling you, when I'm on the regular smoker, constantly trying to check my heat.
Yep.
Because it deviates too much.
Yeah, that's me. I have
that pellet, man.
Yeah.
That pellet, man, was so constant. And some are better than others. I have a camp chef. People have Traegers. People have Rectex. Different type of pellet grills. I have a camp chef, and I'm telling you guys, this thing is out of this world. But you don't get that same wood flavor. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not gonna get that same
question. That's the question I was about to ask you, because I have like an offset smoker, Javi, and that's my complaint is Like I'm working all dang day, keeping up with this thing, making sure it's hot, keep putting wood on it. Cause when I go, I don't use charcoal. I use wood. And so, you're always putting wood on it, and you'll have flare ups, and then it'll get too low. And, you're changing the dampers, the whole 9 yards. It is legit work versus like you're essentially setting it and forgetting it.
Yeah. And then,
but you're losing a little bit of taste with that. So is it worth it? Is it worth it?
It's convenient.
Ask his wife.
Yeah.
So the convenience is worth it. That's what I mean.
Man, I'm telling you, man. And then, and I like some things better than others in it. Right now, I like the chicken in the pellet than I do on the my backwoods smoker, which is going to be with wood and charcoal.
I like it all.
I like my ribs. I like my ribs on the smoke on my backwoods smoker than I do on the pellet grill.
And have you cooked on a Kamado?
Those ceramics? No, I haven't done that yet. I did it one time at a friend's house. Take that back. I cooked a steak in Pooh. My steak came out like Cliff's. And it wasn't on there that long.
To me again.
Really?
Yeah, sorry, Cliff. And
I like
the ends, and I'm like, he had the little, but he didn't have the plate in there.
Oh yeah, the deflector.
The deflector.
You got to have the heat deflector.
I mean, at that point, you're basically cooking in an oven.
You are, but you gain the wood back. So that's where I think that for me, that's the happy medium. You get the convenience of the Traeger style grills or the pellet style grills, but yet you maintain the wood because you're using the lump charcoal and you maintain the moisture, you maintain the heat. You don't have to work so hard at it. To me, it's a happy medium.
This all just sounds like what Cliff did in the yard the other day. I mean, he had the wood underneath, he had the charcoal above it, and he did this whole thing. It wasn't I don't remember him saying I was checking the grill at Matt's yard at 2:30 in the morning. He just got out there 10 minutes later. We're eating steak. It sounds like we got the same thing, but Cliff's got quite the shortcut going on here.
We have burnt through the aluminum, folks. We have burnt through the aluminum.
We have complete system failure.
Yeah,
complete system failure.
All right, listen, a couple of things. Number one, all this discussion is making me hungry. Number two, we're out of time. But listen, hey, Javi, before you go, I just want to leave you with one final thought here, okay? And that's never. Do you know why you should never become a vegetarian? It would be a huge mistake.
Oh boy. There you go. Hey, before I go, I want to tell you. I want this trivia question for you guys real quick, and see if you guys can get it. Hold on, let me find it real quick. I should have had it ready for y'all. Here it is.
Trivia question. Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna guess ahead of time. I'm gonna say muscle hamster.
No.
Throwing an answer out there.
Good guess though.
I think Pooh's gonna get it. Maybe Clifford. I didn't know this because I wasn't even born yet. But what starting linebacker for the expansion Buccaneers in 1976 was known as Batman?
Richard Wood.
I knew he would get it.
Boom.
That's what I was gonna say.
Man, I was like
Clifford, did you know it?
I did not know it.
Not born.
I was stuck
like
on Leroy
infant.
Spellman. I thought the answer was going to be something about Leroy Spellman.
I was a legit baby in 1976.
Yeah. You were.
I wasn't even born yet, but
I was born in July of 76.
I just
hold on, Javi. Let me get in position here. Go ahead and ask me another one. I'm getting in Javi position. Go ahead. I'm almost ready. Go ahead, Javi. I'm ready. Where's your neck? We're linked up. Go ahead, Javi. I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. This answer has two people. From 2014 to 2017, Mike Evans became the only third player in NFL history to post 1,000 receiving yards in each of his first 4 seasons. Who were the others? Now, this is NFL-wide, so it's not just the Bucs. Who were the other 2 receivers to post 1,000 receiving yards in each of their first 4 seasons?
Randy Moss and Larry Fitzgerald.
Who else?
Jerry Rice.
What's his name?
Did I get any of them right, Javi?
I'll give it 50% on B-Love with Randy Moss.
Randy Moss for sure.
I'm going to go Randy Moss and Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens. That was going to be my other.
The reason why I would have said that, but remember, Terrell Owens didn't start his first couple years.
No, I don't remember
Terrell Owens. I'm going to give you a hint. The Cincinnati Bengals. He plays for them now.
Oh,
AJ Green.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Really?
Never would have thought. I said Larry Fitzgerald and Randy Moss when the question was asked to me, and I never even thought of AJ Green.
Interesting. I was going to go off way off like Isaac Bruce or Irving Fryer or something crazy like that.
Irving Fryer.
Wow.
Wasn't he Miami Dolphins?
No, it was but I think he may have ended up there, but it was mostly with the Bills. Jim Kelly and the Bills.
Oh,
that was their prime.
You probably would have said Andre Reed.
Andre Reed was there too. Well done, Javi. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming out and doing an Independence Day / Steak Day with us. It was fantastic. We had a good time. Anyone watching, we want to know, what do you guys want to see us compete with next? We love this group of guys. We love to compete. We love to eat. Clearly,
we got no.
I would like to see you guys do. I like ribs, and I'm gonna. If I were to tell you who's got the upper hand, I'm gonna go with the big guy, my left. Pooh Bear.
I made some yesterday. I put 4 hours. I was there. They were only on the Joe for 4 hours. When they were done, I pulled them off. They rested for an hour. I unwrapped them after that. I literally pushed the bones right through the meat. They were curved and they just came right through.
So word of advice. That's overcooked. That's points off.
That's not
I'm just letting you know that right now.
That's not competition.
4 hours.
Yeah.
We're not competition ribs. You're right. Yeah, no. I want some tear. You're right. For competition, you want tear. I was cooking to please mom, dad, sisters, brother-in-law.
I would have loved it, Pooh. I'm in your corner.
I'm just letting you know.
Great ribs, man.
If I judge your ribs, I want competition style.
Well, this was not for competition. This was to please my mom.
I'm saying if you guys,
either way, very good.
But
here's the thing: ribs are a commitment because I need 6 hours to do mine.
Correct. And I will have my grill. I'm not going to use some $24 CVS grill.
You might have to cook them at your house and then bring them at a place.
Here's the thing, guys. We are 35 minutes into talking about steak, which I mean is good. I mean, I love steak. Everybody who knows me knows that. Maybe we should do something where we spend 35 minutes eating steak.
Yes.
In other words, maybe we should do a challenge like all you can eat steak eating challenge. Or
oh my gosh!
One of those like 64 ounces,
64 ounce challenge.
Yeah. The old 96er. Remember that from
great outdoors.
90s. The old
great outdoors.
There happens to be.
Hey, Kapoo, didn't you do the Frontier Steakhouse challenge?
I was about to allude to this, and there was a witness to this event as well here with us. Yeah, we did. I only got 4. It was a 6 pound challenge. No. Yeah, 6 pound. I got 7. No, it was 6 when I did it, and I got 4 down. Person I was with got 4.5, I believe. And but it's not just the steak. They make you eat a potato. You can have it either.
That's where they get you.
You can either have the potato or you can have fries, but you have to have a potato product. They give you like a half hour to eat it. Then you get a 10-minute break where they take it back and warm it up for you, and then bring it back. And then you got to finish. But I tell you what, I didn't fail because I was full. I failed because my jaw hurt so bad. It was that is where if you're going to do like a Joey Chestnut type of thing where you're going to do competitive eating, that's where you need to do the exercises, not in the stomach, in the jaw.
In the jaw.
Or you just soak everything in water.
Right, which is what they
for Joey Chestnut.
And mind you, this was nearly 30 years ago, folks. I haven't done that kind of stupid stuff since. I'm too old.
Hey, Joey Chestnut broke his own record yesterday.
Ridiculous!
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
so many.
They're nasty.
Hey, really quick, do you guys remember a place out near Orlando called Jungle Gyms? Used to be out there a long time ago.
Yeah, it was like a theme restaurant, like a rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They used to do a thing out there. This was like you were talking about 15 or 30 years ago. This had to be like 20 years ago. And you could go in there and they had a challenge. So it was like a 2-pound burger patty and then a pound of ham, the bun, and then you had to eat a pound of fries and all that. And you had like an hour to do it. And then if you did it, you got it, you got it for free. I pulled that one off, man. It was tough.
2-pound hamburger?
Oh, I was and a pound of ham on top of it. I mean, you had to eat this whole thing. It was tough. But I will tell you, I will hold my own. If we do a steak or any kind of steak kind of eating, I will hold my own because I don't know what it is. It's like between either steak or Little Caesars pizza, you could just keep eating it forever.
The next competition the 4 of you guys needed to do is a homemade pizza.
Ooh.
Or team up.
I like the homemade pizza.
I like that too because
I've already got it dialed up. I already know what it would be.
Here we go.
I can eat pizza.
I got it dialed up. Let's do it.
You know what? And then from now on, whoever wins can decide the next challenge.
Yeah, man, have to consider that. We'll have to talk about that, guys.
I like
But
that.
for the homemade pizza.
Has anybody ever done one of those sous vide steaks?
I know a guy, but no, I haven't.
No.
You gotta have the machine.
Yeah, that does not look appealing to me at all.
You gotta vacuum
What
pack
I
it.
know and what I like.
You've had it before. I guarantee. If you've had steak at a restaurant, you've had it before.
Yeah.
You just didn't know you had it.
It was probably at TGI Fridays.
It may have been, but some of the higher end places do it as well.
You think Shula's does that?
It's very likely, yes.
Really?
Yeah,
Definitely not at Burns.
there is a control technique to it that allows them to pre-prepare and then cook at a specific way. They can cook that thing at the right temperature for hours and hours and hours. Leave it overnight. It's
And
pretty
then
incredible.
you could essentially just
When
hit
it's
it
done,
on,
it's
you
like
could just
butter.
hit it on the grill to serve it.
Correct.
Yeah, just to get a little seared, but then the thing will be like butter.
It will.
Well, we should do a steak challenge at Burns. All you can eat steak challenge at Burns.
Who's paying?
Yeah, that's going to be expensive.
Hey,
Hey, I just looked at Frontier Steakhouse website. They don't advertise that. I'm not sure if they're still doing it or not.
Probably not. There's probably some health concerns and reasons not to do it these days.
Listen, we've got to be able to. There's got to be somebody we can find who would do it and let us film it there.
We need. Hey, listen, if you're watching, you have access to a restaurant of any sort.
Any Burns owners,
Let us know.
There's some fellows that are interested in having a competition in your establishment.
Yep.
All right.
So, all right, Javier, thank you very much.
See you,
We
Javi.
love you. Thanks for being
Javi.
here.
Play golf soon. Hey, fun fact about Javi, and you guys already know this, but that guy cannot keep a golf score straight.
You wait to bring that up until he's not here to defend
Yeah, I know
himself.
until he left. But he will lose 2 balls and take 2 shots off the tee and still get par. You know,
Hey, that's my kind of math.
Pencil has an eraser on it. I only have one time I golfed with Javi and you guys, and the funniest part about it was when we went to the wing house afterwards. But that's a story we'll save for another day.
Oh yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Woo.
All right, so what do we got next, man?
I thought we were talking baseball next. We got some stuff to talk about there.
Baseball.
Man, the camp has started. They're calling it summer camp. The Rays are in town. They're working out with their face respirators on.
They're off to a rough start, I think. I'm worried that this is even going to be a season.
No, they haven't had anybody back out like the Nationals and the Dodgers have.
Well, you're talking about the Rays specifically. I'm talking about Major League Baseball.
Yeah, in general.
They had like 30, 32 people test positive for COVID, and like they haven't even started traveling or anything like that yet. I think it could get interesting.
Well, the travel stuff, I think they're pretty much isolated with the same group of people all the time, so I don't know that the travel is going to be a problem. They're not going to be, on a plane with regular people. They're going to be on a plane with their private plane and their people they interact with on a daily basis that are doing their best to quarantine. So I'm not sure that's a problem.
It'll be sanitized and the travel.
They just need to get it moving.
Sanitized.
You know who's having a rough start to the season? Tanaka.
Really?
I shouldn't laugh about that. Did you guys see the video of that, of him taking one in the head?
I saw the aftermath. I did not see the actual.
So what you need to know, Pooh Bear, is it was off of Giancarlo Stanton's bat.
I refer to him as Mike Stanton.
Mike Stanton. So
Mama called him Mike. I'm gonna call him Mike.
If you guys watch the video, and if you haven't, go back and watch it. But he takes one to the head, and then is just laying there on the mound, and nobody is doing anything. Right. The catcher's standing there. Giancarlo is just standing there. Like 5 minutes later, you see a trainer run in. Dude just got clubbed in the head with a baseball off of somebody's back.
Off of Stanton.
It was 112 mile an hour beaner right off the noggin.
Brutal.
Yeah. He's okay.
Yeah, he says he's released from the hospital and he's in concussion protocol and everything. But yeah,
they knocked the corona right out of him.
Yeah. So I this past weekend I was over in Orlando and or not this current weekend. And there, the MLS, we did a show on this a couple of weeks ago. The MLS is there for MLS is back or whatever they're calling it. So they have that group quarantined off at, I think it's the Swan hotel out there, if you're familiar with it.
Yep.
And when I say quarantined off, I'm telling you that thing is quarantined off like a fortress.
Really?
Drove by it. They had all kinds of private security, as well as, local sheriff's department was there. All kinds of no trespassing. I mean, clearly stated, this is, quarantined off for MLS. No trespassing, nobody, but every entrance had multiple guards.
That's a big hotel, too.
So, I mean, it's like, and it made me think to myself, like, hey, they're just not letting people in. Them guys probably aren't getting out of there either.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not going to run down the jelly rolls and have a good time and then come back, right?
No, which I think that's different. The NBA is looking at doing the same thing in the same area.
Right.
That's what I meant by the difference between how is Major League Baseball right now, like those two leagues are, what do you call it? Sorry, what I was looking for.
Get it out.
They're keeping them all quarantined together. And right now,
isolated.
Major League Baseball, those guys came to camp today, but they went home. Whereas
they're not keeping them isolated.
At Major League Soccer or NBA, like, hey, practice is over. Go to your hotel room and do not leave.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's more confined and it's more like a training camp for in the NFL. That's how they kind of do it. They go to a campus, like usually a college or their own private place. They work out, they do their drills, they have their meetings in a conference room, and then they all eat together, and then they all go back to their respective dorm rooms, at least for those first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, for the beginning of camp. So these Major League Baseball players, they're still going to their private homes or whatever every night. And, as far as I know, if they're on the road, they're going to let them go out to dinner. Like they don't I haven't read or heard anything about them being locked down to where they're staying, So I think, there's some variables there that are going to allow them to get out in public. Like you could start seeing some more test positive, but the research I read today is that they're doing these tests every 2 days. Every player has to be tested. Here's the crazy thing. They're sending them to the same testing facility that tests for PEDs. And they're doing it based off of like essentially saliva. And they take 10 players' saliva, mix it together in one batch. That's how they're saying they do the testing faster. If that batch tests positive for COVID, then they go back and test the 10 players individually.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, I kind of see what they're saying, but
because they can do one, you can have
do
10
one
guys
test
spit in a
instead
cup.
of 10. Sure.
Well, they got to save money, because
I don't know.
If you're doing it every 2 days.
Yeah. It just seems to me like that. I don't know about that theory of testing.
60-man roster. It's only 6 tests. Well, I guess you're doing staff as well. So it's probably less than 10 tests you have to do per team. Yeah, man, I guess it makes sense.
Hey, I have found a way to get to a Major League Baseball game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking like,
legal?
Once the 60-game season starts and
yes,
there won't be any fans.
Well, there will be fans, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen what the A's are doing.
Oh, really?
The Oakland A's. No. The A's are selling. Now, listen, follow me on this, okay? I kind of like this idea. So you can pay to have your cardboard cutout put up inside the stadium for the Oakland A's. And it's between like $40 and $89, and you can have it put wherever you want. Okay, that really didn't appeal to me, just having my picture in there. What I do like, though, is for $129, and it's good. My understanding is it's good for the entire season. They will put you in foul ball territory, and if the ball hits your cutout, they will send you the ball.
That's fantastic.
I'm in.
This is awesome.
Take my money.
If the Rays don't do it, I may sign up for Oakland and and just sign.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? We need to do it for all the stadiums. We'll do 4 seats together and we'll advertise the main event.
Yes.
I will say that's a marketing genius idea. That's really good.
It's fantastic.
Chief, let me understand this. So for $40 or whatever, they'll put the cutout wherever they want.
I don't know if you get to pick where it goes. I think the thing is like maybe behind home plate, it's going to cost a little bit more. That might be the $89 one. $40 might be in the outfield, something like that. Maybe in the tech. I don't know how many they're going to sell. They might be upstairs. Yeah, but
this sounds like a per game.
No
ticket price. So
yeah, that's what I did. I was doing some research on it, and it looks like, from what I can tell, this is for the entire season. Remember, the entire season for home games is only going to be 30 games.
About 30 games, right?
Right.
Yeah, but if you're a season ticket holder, do you get first choice at doing this for your own season ticket?
Yeah.
Like where your ticket would have been?
Like Marlins, man.
But what you do receive, though, you might if you're a season ticket holder, what they do give you, though, is a ticket for an exhibition game next year.
Exhibition.
So for an exhibition game, I guess like spring training game or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get a chance at a foul ball. You get and it's every game. Every at bat all of a sudden, is a chance for you to get a foul ball.
That'll be so awesome to watch.
I'm not so much. I mean, I love the foul ball idea, but I love the idea of seeing my cutout on TV.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm excited.
Right?
That's me.
I mean,
look at me.
Can I get one behind home plate? And I want my cutout to be like this.
I was just gonna say,
I need to be in motion.
What kind of cool faces could you make, or what kind of poses could you do for your cutout? That would be hilarious.
I want to do the how they have the sunburst in the center field on the Trop. I want to do like the yellow hair thing, on there, so it really sticks out.
And they need to get some people like looking down at their phones.
Oh yes.
Yes. We need a guy, holding the beer.
That at least would be realistic,
with the beer out, put it away, trying to catch the foul ball.
You could do the awkward kiss camera guy.
Protecting the kid. You need somebody protecting the kid.
Protecting the kid. Protecting the kid. Yes.
All these.
And
my gosh.
And you gotta have the like a college game with the guys with their shirts off and the
with the rays.
Yeah, we get that. Oh man.
Yeah.
You need to have
a good time with this.
We
Can
got
I be the
Y?
Right, I want to be the Y.
You want to make the Y. Yeah,
I want to be the Y.
Why?
So he can put his hands up.
For what reason?
I just called the Y.
Okay. All right.
You got the Y.
I'll
you
go
could do 2 people kissing for the kiss cam.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Listen, the marketing could go with this.
Could you buy a cutout and then send in somebody else? So like say you wanted to buy yourself, and then you buy yourself, and then you buy like a really hot supermodel, and then you make them kissing for the kiss cam.
Yes, or you could buy a celebrity. You you and Jay-Z or something. Be like, hey, where's Beyonce? Yeah. No, it's me.
Yeah, you'll get a.
Oh man, I love this
Jay-Z real quick.
Listen, I'm writing the Rays tomorrow. See if they're going to get on board with this. They need all the money they can get. You know what I'm saying? Why not do this?
So this idea started.
Chief, I'm with you. Here's what I might do. I might do one in every team in the AL East, so every game I watch, I have the chance of seeing myself on TV.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
That's me.
So this all kind of started with the Korean Baseball League. They started.
I get to see it. So you spent $700. You spent $700 on cutouts,
and we expensed it.
Yes, I did. But did you see me on TV?
Have you seen my foul ball collection?
Oh man, I don't know if you guys remember this. Like this was a gazillion years ago, but it was one of the. It might have been an opening day game. I don't remember when it was, but you know how we got into a habit of always sitting on like the front row in right field, right? And we're walking up, the stairs, and I have, a hot dog in one hand and a drink in the other hand, and a ground rule double happens, and the ball hits me right in the chest. So I'm the guy on TV that's got his hands full with a hot dog and a drink, and the ball just hits me in the chest, and some, kid ends up getting the ball. But yeah,
that was you.
But you didn't spill it.
Yep,
didn't spill it.
Clifford still doesn't forgive me for it's been several years now. Third base coach threw just a ground ball to me. I was standing there with peanuts in one hand, and I got my left hand is empty, and I said, I got this. I can, I'm going back, to the I got it days. And look, reach up, thing bounces in my hand out. Somebody else grabs it, and Clifford looks at me and he's like, you just couldn't drop the peanuts. Their peanuts were way more important. To this day, he will still chew me about that. That I didn't drop the peanuts. He goes, they're in a shell, Dad. And it's not like they were going to get dirty or anything.
I do have a foul ball. Does anybody have a foul ball from a game?
No.
Nope. I used to have a foul ball.
So I have one from when I was a kid. I still have the ball. It's in. I just look behind my shoulder because I used to keep it on the shelf, but I moved it to the bedroom, or maybe it's above me. Anyways, doesn't matter. But my dad and I are at a spring training game. This is back when the Cincinnati Reds, their spring training home was here. I don't remember what ballpark it was that we were at, but a ball comes ripping down the first base line, and my dad just one hands it.
Boom. O.J. Howard style.
And he handed it to you.
I still have it.
Nice.
I've never caught a home run ball, never a batting practice ball, never a foul ball. And I mean, I've been to some baseball games. I mean, I've been to baseball games where people with me were sleeping, but never caught a foul ball.
No?
Mm-mm.
No.
Or a home run ball. Ain't nothing.
You got to get to more games.
Well, obviously, that's the answer.
Again. Yeah.
A little bit more luck, I guess.
So I guess, with baseball kicking off, right? And or we're thinking it's going to kick off. We'll see what happens. But nobody is holding any grudges or any ill will anymore. It's, I remember Lovell talking about basically, I'm giving up on baseball. These guys are idiots, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And as soon as it comes back, bang, all's forgiven. And here we go again.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say. No? First of all, I do think a 60-game season is irrelevant.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's pointless for them to play 60 games, and I think there's a good chance that even if they get the season started, they won't get the season finished.
There is a good chance of that.
Yeah. They waited way too long to figure this out between the players and ownership. And
they didn't have to. That's just it. Yeah. It didn't have to take nearly.
And if it doesn't happen, or whatever, it's still on them. 60 games. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The Seattle Mariners might make the playoffs. I mean, yeah.
So what about the players that are gonna sit out now? We've had several players declare that they're going to sit out the entire season.
Some decent names too. I mean, David Price obviously leads that list. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize the dude's 32 years old. I mean, he doesn't have very many Major League Baseball seasons left in him.
Although a lot of people will look at his stats from last year and say he sat out last year as well.
Oh, wow. He's a pitcher. He's not on the mound. He's got nobody around him.
Pooh Bear, I have thought since he came out and said he wasn't going to play that this is an opportunity for a guy like him, who I just said is 32 years old, to get some rest. Theoretically, sitting out a season like this could give him 2 or 3 more seasons in the majors.
But what does it do to an athlete, especially a pitcher, without that muscle memory of repeated motion? If he's not working out like he normally does and has that kind of, that could be problems as well.
I feel like he's had muscle memory from Little League now. He's got it. One year is not going to hurt him significantly.
You're probably right, but I've seen what can happen to someone who sits out for a short period of time and isn't at peak physical form.
It takes them a while to get back into it. Right?
Not only that, it's things just don't come back sometimes.
Yeah.
So
look at Roger Clemens. Oh wait, no, that example.
with the right prescription, anything can come back. Right?
That's where I was going. He had his best years after 40. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But Ryan Zimmerman for the Nationals, he's out.
Ryan Zimmerman. Now he has probably one of the most valid reasons, and his wife is she has health concerns where she is a highly susceptible to respiratory diseases. Mm-hmm. She has pre-existing conditions that essentially would kill her if she caught it. Yep. So I empathize with that kind of mentality of, hey, I'm going to, and he's older too. I think he's 35,
There's no contractual issues with this because it's a season, it's legit now. I mean,
here's the crazy thing, Maddie, is that there's 2 designations. You can sit out if you are a Pooh Bear, you just used the word. If you're in a high risk situation, they can choose to sit out the season and they get paid.
Right.
David Price won't be paid because he's not in a high, which by the way, he left behind like $12 million, $13 million to not play this season.
Wow.
Yeah. But he hasn't played for the Dodgers yet. That's his Red Sox contract.
Yeah. Yeah. He has. And I think somewhere I read that he paid all of the minor league employees' salaries for a month or something like that.
He did.
Or gave him $1,000 or whatever.
I think he did do something like that. Yeah, that was very, very kind of him, especially since he hasn't even played for the Dodgers yet. That was for the Dodgers organization, not the Red Sox or the Rays organization.
Yeah.
So that was pretty stand up.
By the way, did any of you know that King Felix is still in the league?
Not until I read the story that said he was going to sit out. He's battling for even a roster spot. Like he's not even a guaranteed starter with the Rays or the Braves.
The Braves,
you got to earn it.
Yeah. So the most interesting name on the list to me was Ian Desmond and his reasoning, because it wasn't just for his family reasons. Like his wife is pregnant with their 5th child, but it was because his agent, who's biracial, asked him to protest essentially over the racial injustice that's been happening. That one just kind of struck me as funny that your agent asked you to do this.
Is his agent still taking this cut?
That's what I was like. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the story. I don't know who the agent is. I don't know anything else. It was just interesting that was one of his reasons. His reason was, my wife's pregnant. I don't want to endanger her. And my agent is biracial. Therefore, social injustice. I can't play ball.
The interesting thing about that is I understand the reason for that, but I don't know that anybody knows that, because the only player that's made any headlines and opting out is David Price. Preparing for this show, I had to actually go research who were the other players were, because they're not news.
They're not big name. Other than Ryan Zimmerman, I think is probably the biggest name on there.
Yeah. They're not news. So for that to happen, I understand the why, but it kind of got missed, I think.
And there may be some more. I mean, this is just
talking about doing it too.
Who's that?
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
He's been very vocal about it. Yes.
Because he was the exact opposite. After Blake Snell came out with his comments, he was the exact opposite, saying that this is ridiculous. We need to play now. I'm ready to go right now today.
Right. I think the number of cases that you're seeing spike in the last couple of weeks is causing people to think in some different ways.
Or maybe they found out that one of the pre-existing conditions that could lead to prolonged illness due to COVID-19 might have something to do with PEDs. Maybe. Who knows? Just putting that out there.
Oh my gosh, that dude just threw a shot across the bow.
Put it out there. Dude, he's the only one that's legally allowed to take steroids. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But why? Wait a minute. Why is he allowed to take steroids?
He has a pre-existing condition. He has some sort of it's the Rocco Baldelli type of thing where he needs to recover faster. So he's allowed to take a certain amount. He can have, when he pops for a test, that number is a lot higher than other people's number.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I got to tell you, in all of the news of baseball in the past week, the fact that I can get a cutout at a game is the most exciting to me.
It's I'm very excited for that.
That right there is winning. That's winning baseball for me right now. In fact, I want them to have a season more so for that than anything.
Well, now listen, that's just baseball. What other attendance-based sports can we take advantage of here?
Well,
we're in a very peculiar marketing situation where we need to introduce our brand to the world.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna have a big shirt that says "at the man event" with like the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube logo on it.
So
what about like the NFL in the back of the end zone? We could throw a banner down, next to the John 3:16 one.
This is where I'm going with this. This is where I'm going with this. We need to start thinking outside the box when it comes to this stuff.
Could be
if they're going to allow cutouts like that.
Hockey.
Yes.
You can't
be on the glass.
On the glass, that's the only thing you can do. You can't see anyone else.
I want to have hands up on the glass, banging.
Yeah.
Man, whatever happened in hockey to the guy who sat behind the goal with the red light. You're gonna say that's not there anymore? There used to be a guy who just sat there.
And now he's up in the booth watching a camera that sits
They got
inside the
really
net.
good high definition video now, so you can see it better.
He's got his finger on the button, and when that puck crosses the line, he's pushing the button. Sometimes he does it wrong.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it was
but a
way
lot of times
cooler.
they
It was
hit
way
that buzzer.
cooler when they sat right behind the net.
Yeah, they were blocking the view though for a lot of people.
A lot of times they get that buzzer, and I'm even though I'm watching it on high definition TV, you don't see it, and then you got to wait for the 15 different camera angles and the slow mo and all that to actually see it. But usually those guys are pretty good when the red light goes off. It's usually pretty accurate.
Well, Fox tried that little tracer on the hockey puck. You know,
I hated that.
that didn't work. It was like a lightning bug on the screen. You know what is going on here?
Well, and not to mention that was back in the day before high definition television, and it did not. It was not good.
Yeah,
and Fox tried it with baseball too. Remember they tried to use the baseball that had the speed tracker and the tail on it.
Yeah,
like they do in golf.
Yeah, very similar to that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool technology though in golf. That's pretty cool.
It's great. I need it. I need it in golf. I can't watch it without it. I need to know how far the guy hit it.
Yeah.
But no, if you ever go back and watch hockey, especially hockey in like regular non-high definition TV, it's like you can't even find the puck. You just can't see it. How did we watch hockey for so many years?
It's tough.
Yeah, without being in high definition.
Well, even now, I find
now
myself
our brains are conditioned for it. You know.
I watch the players. I watch the players. Usually, their face or their stick movement helps me gauge where the puck is. You know, if they're not involved, then I know the puck's not around. Because a lot of times, what will happen is that the camera angle, it'll be close enough to the boards to where you can't see where the puck is. So you have to look for other indicators, like how is the player's positioned. And things, where's the referee? If the referee is up against the boards, then it's close by. Or
back then, years ago, you just look for whoever's head had blood coming out of it because they didn't wear helmets back then. Back like Phil Esposito days and Kevin Dineen days and all that.
Hey, so Chief,
yo,
I hear you got some more jokes.
I do have a couple of 4th of July.
He already gave one up.
That was a pretty good one, huh? I like that with the mistake. That was.
Hey, that joke was no mistake.
That was.
We're going to call this segment
Papa Cliff. That joke.
Papa Cliff's joke time. Yup.
All right, hold on. I got a couple of these right here. Here we go. Let me see. I'm going to go Pooh Bear. What do you call Cap? What do you call? I'm going to start over on this one. Pooh Bear.
That's the best joke so far.
Yeah. Woohoo.
What do you get when you cross Captain America with the Incredible Hulk?
Oh my. Captain America and Incredible Hulk.
The Star Spangled Banner.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Remember, these are 4th of July. These are 4th of July.
God. I will definitely.
Okay. What happened as a result of the Stamp Act? You're going to like this one.
The Stamp Act?
Yeah, what happened as a result of the Stamp Act?
Do you know your history?
Didn't that have something to do with the Tea Party?
Something like yes.
Well,
okay.
The Americans licked the British.
The what?
The Americans licked the British. All right, this is my favorite one. Here we go. How come there are no knock-knock jokes about America?
Because they built a wall and not a door?
Because freedom rings.
Ah.
Freedom rings.
Okay,
I like those.
One or two more. What's red, white, and blue?
The flag.
Uncle Sam falling down the stairs.
That's a bad one, man. That was a bad one.
That one's got to be reshelved. Forget that one. One more. You got one more?
Okay, what was the most popular dance of 1776?
Dance 1776.
The Revolution. The twist. No.
Mashed potato. No.
Dance. What was the most popular dance of 1776?
The Dougie.
The Independence.
Now watch me win.
Independence.
Yeah, watch me. All right, that's good. That's
we
good.
really should have. We really should have got that one.
Hey, listen. While we're talking about jokes,
Yep.
Kanye West running for president. Joke or no joke?
Yeezy.
He is running. Well, he announced it, right? But here's the thing:
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. All right.
I feel this is part of Trump's master plan.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to hear this.
I'm waiting to hear what you say, but this popped into my head too. So let me hear it. Go ahead.
Well, look, Kanye Trump has been an avid Trump supporter. Okay.
Right.
Oh, Biden, he is going to collect just more African American votes than as a Democrat than a Republican would. And if Kanye runs, he will take those votes away from the Democratic Party. I believe Trump has orchestrated this entire thing. I don't think Kanye has any desire to run for president other than helping Trump win.
Well, he did talk about this way back in 2015 is when he started talking about running for president. Now, the thing is, he just announced this, yesterday, right? But he has not filed with the FEC yet, so he's not an official candidate or anything. But I was thinking the same thing you were, is that if he figures he can siphon some Democratic votes away from Biden, and then you can get Trump to win the Electoral College. Which, wait a minute, the Electoral College still exists, right?
Yes.
You just can't tell anymore. You just don't know. So that may be a plot. He may be up to it with him. We'll see. But I think
it would be the Ross Perot factor.
Wow, yes, you guys have put some thought into this.
Wow.
Not as much thought as Donald Trump's put into it, but I'm telling you.
So you think the following conversation happened? So Kaney, listen. I've got the best plan. This is the best plan. It's the best. It's the best. The best is the plan with the best. I need you to run for president against me. Over.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how it went.
Wow.
Well, they do have a couple things in common, right? You got Donald Trump, who was a billionaire or is a billionaire, and then he runs for president thinking, I don't need the money. Now, Kanye, he's pretty darn rich, and I think his wife just got named a billionaire like last week or 2 weeks ago. So
she was knocked down off of that list.
So she was a billionaire for like a day?
Forbes did a recalculation and said, nope, sorry, oops.
Yeah, so she's paid like the rest of us.
Kanye's wife is not a billionaire.
Let's put it this way. It's like the Hall of Fame discussion. If you're in the discussion of whether or not you're a billionaire,
you're close enough.
You're pretty good.
Hey, you only have $980 million.
Right. Oh, wow. No.
Wow. So Maddie and the Chief thinks that this is a legit strategy.
I'm not sure, but it definitely popped in my head.
Campaign.
As soon as I heard it.
Wow, you guys.
As a matter of fact, my wife said the same thing, and I didn't even prompt her on it.
Wow. Now, he wouldn't be able, I mean, obviously, he's not in any of the debates. If there's going to.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't registered with the FEC yet. So the thing is, if he registers and everything else, then I guess if he can, I don't remember exactly what you got to do to qualify to get into a debate.
I think you have to have a certain percentage of the polling.
Right.
To qualify to get into the debate. But could you imagine
that depends on what the debate rules are. The debate rules change based on who's putting the debate on.
Yeah, but
he
a lot
like in the debate at all. He's got enough name recognition. All he has to do is be on the ballot. And here's the thing: he doesn't even have to be on the ballot in all 50 states. Like a gimme state like Wyoming, he doesn't need to be on Wyoming. On a toss-up state like Florida, he needs to be. That's
right.
Yeah, so he doesn't even have to be in all 50. He just got to be. He's got to be in the Michigan, Ohio, Florida, whatever, Pennsylvania, possibly for the toss-up states. To think that he's got a chance.
Who do you think his running mate would be?
Oh, it's got to be his wife.
No. Elon Musk. He's the one backing him, dude.
He jumped on that right
Elon
away.
Musk is backing Kanye.
100%.
Yes, those two are just
where are you guys getting this from?
Well, hold up.
Where are you not getting? Because you've been in Orlando all weekend. You missed out on the race.
You had those Mickey Mouse ears on, so you didn't hear any of this stuff. But he was hanging out with Elon Musk like last week or 2 weeks ago. So Elon probably knew he was going to do this anyway, or however you say his name. Wow. As tough as his name is to say, try saying his kid's name. But anyway, so it's already going to be funny enough with Trump and Biden in a debate.
That's what I'm saying. This can't get any better.
You throw in, it would have been better with Bernie, but you throw in Kanye on the stage too.
Oh, wow. He breaks out into a song.
I wonder if he would rap. I wonder if he would rap as like his speech.
Or just cut him off. Wait. Trumpy. Just wait a second. He had the best video this year. Remember we interrupted the MTV Awards and interrupted Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Well, you know what else? Kanye just, I think he was just named too. Him and Elton John were the two highest money-making musicians too.
So last year?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I was saying it's got to be just last year because I would imagine the Beatles or Elvis has to be top of that. Michael Jackson.
Well, it depends on who tours. Like with Elton John, I think he had a movie or two come out.
Yeah, he had that movie come out about his life. That definitely helped.
So usually it's touring. Whenever they tour, that's the moneymaker.
Yeah, we might not ever see a concert again at this point.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting discussion about who has the most revenue this year. Interesting. Wow, so that's going to make the November election a little.
I mean, here's my thing. The only, and I didn't do a whole lot of looking into this apparently as much as the Chief and Maddie did. Other than, I mean, my initial reaction was this was comedy. But hey, listen, if you're gonna come in as a dark horse, what a better year. I mean, like Trump is crumbling. Biden doesn't even know yet he's the Democratic nominee. That like this is a great time to sneak one in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen, all I'm saying,
I'll have to research his platform.
Francis J. Underwood should come run for this year.
Oh my gosh.
Well, here's the other thing. I mean, if you
this is the type of election that he would win, though, Pooh Bear.
What kind of skeletons are going to come out? Because if he really runs, the campaigns.
Dude, he's a mainstream artist. Nobody will care.
Oh no! Wrong. They are going
Gina.
They are going to come after him hard because he's not going to be. I don't think his politics are going to line up with the media's. Let's put it that way. And he's already on the outs with a lot of the African American community because he hasn't been toeing the party line. So it could be very interesting to see what happens.
It would be interesting. This whole thing will be interesting. I just know that when you have, like you were just saying about Biden, he doesn't even know he's the nominee yet, and then and you have Trump and his Twitter addiction. For a country as great as America, I'm just like, there should be a more, some other I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Nominated D-Love like on one of our first episodes, if y'all remember that. Hey, this article I'm reading right here for top 5 candidates for vice president for Kanye West, and they hit Kim Kardashian up, and then Jay-Z and Taylor Swift. I thought those were kind of interesting options right there.
But what makes all these musicians great politicians?
That's just joking around.
Yeah.
Jay-Z I could kind of listen to, but I can't listen to Taylor Swift for vice president. That's ridiculous.
She'd write a song about it.
So you legit think this? You could legit see Kanye West making a run for president?
I wouldn't think it would be a legit run because I don't even think he'd make it on the ballot in 50 states. I think, in all honesty, it would play out just like that. They would put him in, 10 strategic states, get him on the ballot, siphon some votes away from the Democratic Party and just see what happens. It'd be a mockery.
You got to be careful. Factor.
It would be interesting to see if he could win California. That in New York, those two would be the most interesting ones.
Okay, I think he could legit win New York.
That's what I'm saying. Well, if he pulls enough off of New York, because that's where President Trump is from, and they're going through a lot of stuff right now where they're not real happy with not only Bloomberg but Cuomo. That would be very interesting if he could pull some votes there, just enough to, like you said, to get away the votes that Biden would traditionally get. Enough to where those points come. Wow, that's going to be. This is okay. All right,
well,
I hear you.
That's what I'm saying. When you start factoring in the Electoral College, and then, like Cliff was saying, you put them in the strategic states like Florida, right? So much, it even boils down to what the I-4 corridor, and then you find out, Tampa or Hillsborough counties, responsible for whoever's going to get elected.
Right.
Sometimes it comes that close. So if you get Kanye, for example, at least in this strategy, on the ballot in Florida, and he's able to siphon enough Democrat votes away that Trump takes Florida, that may change that may be all they need to win the election, the way things are set up. It really becomes interesting. I mean, you laugh and laugh or whatever, but there's serious thought behind some of this, I'm sure.
How about this scenario? What if all of a sudden Pence decides he doesn't want to be vice president anymore, and Trump goes to Kanye and says, "Hey,
wow,
you want to take on the number 2 spot?"
Wow, I don't.
I just made that up, so that's not really hard news. But
breaking news.
I was gonna say, I would assume that Pence would, regardless of whether the Republican ticket wins the election in 2020, I would imagine he's going to run in 2024.
Right.
I would think so. Yeah.
I agree with
either way.
Follow the Al Gore strategy. With hope, well, he would be hoping for a better outcome, but yeah.
But I mean, at least he wouldn't be 80 years old.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How old is Biden? Biden's what, 77?
7.
I think he would be 78 when he took office.
He would be the oldest president if he's elected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, really, you're voting a president in, you're voting a vice president in all honesty.
And the first one with dementia, yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of people are saying. This is really a vote for the vice president is really the president here, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Now, how old was Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, when he got elected?
39.
Yeah, he was very young, right?
He was the youngest, I believe, at that time.
Because I think he had to be minimum of 35.
Yeah,
that's the Constitution.
Hey, does anybody know? Does like Kanye West have an album dropping anytime soon or anything like that?
Is there an ulterior motive here?
He had a gospel album hit the last time he made news. He was on, and I think that weekend he had a gospel album released.
Yes.
So I don't know if this has anything to do with publicity or not.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I hear you. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, he must, because usually that's what happens. You hear about a celebrity that you haven't heard from in 6 months, and all of a sudden they're everywhere. They're on every talk show.
we all thought that about Donald Trump 5 years ago.
Yeah. And then the next thing you know, there's a movie coming out with him.
The guy's president.
They drop an album or clothing line.
Do you remember when?
And by the way, I think he was as shocked as the rest of us were on election night.
Well, do you remember when he announced his candidacy?
Coming down the golden escalator.
Yeah, the escalator. Yeah. And I thought for sure if he gains any traction, he will find a reason to bail, right? Because I didn't think he really wanted to do it. I think he really just wanted the publicity and to make a statement and keep himself relevant after what was that show he did?
Here's the thing about people like that, Matt, is when you start to win, it gets contagious.
Yeah, but he didn't think he was going to win.
I know, but what I'm saying is like he wins a couple primaries. You start in like your ego, guys like that, their ego starts to the winning just snowballs the ego.
Think about a wild card team in the baseball playoff. They don't really belong there, but they got some mojo going. There's some motivating movement happening, some momentum. It's going. Then they start to believe in themselves. Mm-hmm. And as the other teams fall and they start to excel, I think that was kind of what happened.
Could you imagine being in whatever hotel room or whatever room Hillary Clinton was in when those results started coming in that night? Could you imagine?
I've heard stories and it wasn't pretty.
I mean, there isn't a person alive, including Trump himself, who I think thought he was really going to win that night.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. No one was more surprised. I'm pretty.
So.
Did you guys stay up and watch it?
Speech writing acceptance speech like 10 minutes before he took the stage.
Yeah, I didn't. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock or whatever, and I just figured, well, we'll wake up with Hillary in the morning, and my wife got up at like 5 a.m. to go running or whatever, and she starts screaming and waking me up. Donald Trump won.
Now I think I fell
asleep.
Am I
dreaming?
I think I fell asleep that night, but I woke up like as he was about to take the stage to give the acceptance speech. I had the TV still on and I had fallen asleep with it going on. But
how hard was it for
I don't think
Obama?
Anybody was more surprised than him.
How about Obama when he had to he had to go give him the tour of the White House and all that, and then on Inauguration Day and all that? Wow, that must have been tough. I tell you. So I got a quick question for you guys, unrelated to anything else we've been discussing. So I'm out working Friday. Took Friday off for the weekend. I'm out working in the yard, and I'm doing some stone work out at the front. And man, I don't know what I did, but I pulled a muscle in my lower back, right? So it's been killing me all weekend. And every time you move a certain way, you know, you get that sharp pain, and then and you keep grunting and moving like us old people do. So what I want to know is, does anybody know what actually happens when you pull a muscle? Like what actually, I mean, pull a muscle and you got to, you know,
Listen,
I threw my back out, you got to give a couple days, but
I'm going to go with the chief. He's going to have this answer for two reasons. For two reasons, he's going to have this answer.
He's pulling our muscles.
One, he is a medical professional.
Okay.
But two,
don't say the second one.
He is very accident prone.
Oh, okay.
And I'm quite sure that he has had a similar injury. So, Chief.
Okay, so
you haven't had a similar injury?
Oh, I've had a similar.
Not you. I mean, Lovell.
Oh,
I've hurt my back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of things going on there. You've got most likely what's happened. You know, you got the muscle fibers. You know, they're strands, right? Well, a strain is actually just a really like a mild tear. You know, you stretch it, and you know they slightly tear there. And then what happens is they become inflamed. And that's why they give you those anti-inflammatories, because when they're inflamed, they get jammed up, and then it starts to swell. And when you get that friction going, it just makes it harder and harder to move. So, you know, ice, which causes the inflammation to go away, the anti-inflammatories like Advil or naproxen, something like that, also helps it go away, and it just aids in the healing. You still have the slight tears. That's why it takes time for it to heal. But it allows the muscle to move without causing all that extra friction in there.
I've heard that certain drinks help it heal better.
They may.
Is that true?
They help with the symptoms, but they're not going to help with the healing. Unless you maybe talk about, if you were protein deficient and you're eating you're having a protein drink.
You're saying like you have a sore throat, you want to use the same type of medication.
I know the sore throat remedy.
Well, if you drink enough of certain drinks, it doesn't matter if your back hurts. You would know it anyway.
I think that's where Cliff was going. So is that what you're talking about, or is that?
Yeah, you may be able to twist and move a little freer, you know, while but that's not going to help it get better.
You can do the independence better.
Yes.
Oh, look at you. Clever.
Bam.
Wow. Pooh Bear bringing it.
That means what I'm
So am I the only one who's feeling these aches and pains as they're getting older? Someone don't leave me out on a ledge.
I can barely tie my shoes.
I mean, listen, let's go through. Listen, Chief, would you like to run through your current list of injuries?
Oh my gosh, my finger still hasn't healed, you know, from the boot camp debacle there. My ankle is finally doing okay. Oh man, who knows? Actually, my back is feeling better these days, so that's actually a good sign.
The back's been going almost a year.
Oh, I think it's been longer than that.
Yeah.
So
wow. Because wasn't it about a year ago we did that Spartan over in Kissimmee?
Yeah, when was that? That must have been.
I want to say it was around June.
It probably was around June. Yeah. My back was really bothering me then too.
Mm-hmm.
And, matter of fact, I was really not really sure I was going to be able to do it, but anyway, I did clear the monkey bars. I'll always have the monkey bars.
You'll always have the monkey bars. I felt bad that Spartan. I get on the monkey bars and I start like when I do the monkey bars, I have like my whole body moves for whatever reason. It's like I'm trying to get that momentum going here, right?
That's cheating.
Man, I kicked some lady right in the stomach. And I look back and she's laying on her back. I'm like,
anything to win, huh? You will do anything to win. You will cheat.
It was an accident. She shouldn't have been that close.
Was that during the race?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He'll cheat during a race. He'll cheat during steak day. He'll cheat.
Listen, you saw the video of steak day. There was no cheating. There's video evidence of no cheating.
All I know is I saw Javi with some nice new jewelry on a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
You got a new holler at your boys flag.
Yeah, did you see that in the background?
I did.
Well,
I forgot to ask him who the rest of the boys are.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're probably his cousins and stuff.
Because it's pluralized, you know. It's not just holler at your boy. It's holler at your boys.
all I know is I could really go for some barbecue right now.
I'm ready for a little
dinner yet, so
I've got some dessert waiting on me.
oh my god,
I got apple pie. Apple pie for
all
July 4th weekend.
All this talk about food, it seems like a really good time to wrap this up.
We've been talking about food all night.
This has been the food edition.
Oh, wow. Listen, this is the man. What episode is this, by the way, of the man?
This is number 16, I believe.
16 episodes. By the way, there are shows on Amazon that haven't run this long.
Word.
On network television that haven't run this long.
Right.
The Charmings.
16 weeks of the Man event.
I like it.
And counting.
That's right.
All right, guys.
All right.
We appreciate those of you that tuned in today. We had a steady about 10 viewers the entire time. Yeah.
Please go watch the video, subscribe, ring the bell.
Yeah,
subscribe, ring the bell. And honestly, it's easy, it's pain free. It is what is going to help us the most is your subscription.
And then give us
our
ideas.
channel.
What do you guys want to see? You know,
well, we have the next two shorts. We have the ideas pretty well wrapped up.
Yep. Yeah. So on Facebook and on YouTube, we are at The Man Event. On Instagram, we are at The Man Event Show. Make sure you go there, like our pages, subscribe.
Yep. Leave comments, especially if you're watching live. Obviously, we had some interaction this evening. Not all of it made it to the screen. Some of it was irrelevant, but some of it made sense. So we posted it.
There you go.
It didn't matter. I'm rereading the comments now. But no, we look forward to interacting with you guys, especially when it comes to ideas and topics and things like that. It makes everything flow faster.
Hey, in those comments, was anybody who said Matt was robbed?
No.
Not a single person. No. I've talked to hundreds of people that watched, and no one said Matt was robbed.
I was just checking.
If anything, they said I was robbed.
Oh, boy. All right, guys. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I got a vacation.
We're going to.
Chief has a vacation club coming up, so our vacation day coming up, which we've got to clearly define what the rules are here.
We got to work on that this week, and we'll have to talk about it next week. Now, Cliff, I'm just going to say you can use your phone.
That's what I'm saying.
You can set it up to drive while you're doing the show.
We'll get a passenger in the vehicle with him to put it on and hold it while he talks.
All right. It'd be good great. To a wreck right in the middle of that. So tell him
wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good.
Not be bad to do.
It would be great for views.
Listen, anyway, next week let's do this again. We'll do it without Cliff, but we'll hold the fort down for him.
No problem.
We'll have a good time.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Congratulations, Level. I mean it.
Thank you.